time to get started on this Jeep here. I had to look around for like maybe if it's a fuse or whatever. There is a fusible link between there and the alternator, but the wiring's been messed with, so I don't know. It could be anything, and I can't really see the wiring at the alternator till I get there anyway. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off. It's getting late tonight. We're gonna take off the grill, take out the battery, take out the air cleaner box, the engine cover. I've actually got this mostly loose, except that we're in Canada, yo. So we got a block heater plug here. So I just gotta undo that, and then this will come off out of the way. I thought about letting it hang, but it'll just be in the way. So just gonna get rid of it. So I'm just gonna let the camera roll.
Broken roads, desert dust bowl sun, where the bill man will call you almost every week. Which bills to pay today, what's left in the fridge to eat. Where stars frame the night, on out a train, just close enough to give hope, but too far to reach. I left there with that hope on fire, backseat for a bed in search for something brighter. Down in that Dust Bowl Valley, with that Dust Bowl Valley sun, I'm going back to the place I ran from, where the earth and the men been hardened by life in the sun. Like my old man, he's 63, still swings a hammer, still tougher than me. What about my mother? Well, the last I heard, she was strung out on Demerol and some of those neighbors. I miss my good friend, look how far we come. Oh, settling down now, I guess we're worn out from the run. Down in that Dust Bowl Valley, with that Dust Bowl Valley sun. Now I'm headed back, got the radio on. They're still playing Haggard's working man song. And I'm coming full circle, trying to make my peace with my past and the ghosts that still haunt me. Remembering the good times more than the bad. That Dust Bowl country, heart-worn land. I'm going back to the place where I ran from. Palm tree, broken roads, desert Dust Bowl sun. Down in that Dust Bowl Valley, with that Dust Bowl Valley sun. Take me on back to that Dust Bowl Valley, Dust Bowl Valley sun.
Carrying on with the disassembly here, we have to remove, already loosened this clamp, we have to remove this big blue intercooler pipe that's in front of the belt, as well as this one here that goes back to the intake manifold, and then hopefully we can get at the belt tensioner and stuff. Hopefully. Not gonna lie, it's a high mileage engine, but I'm a little concerned about all the oil and all the intercooler piping. It looks like I'm stuck. You can see there that external Torx, there's a little bracket there that wraps over the belt and is preventing me from moving the tensioner enough to get the belt off. So I have to get that bracket off. Now that bolt, I can put an 8mm wrench on, box end wrench, and it comes out not too bad. The issue is, down below it, there's another one on the bottom of that bracket, and it's like inset. So I need to bring my sockets home from work tonight so that I can get that thing off of there. Well, a few more parts out. This is the bracket I was referring to that the belt passes through. I'm not sure what its function is, but you can see there external Torx head bolts, and I think it was an 8mm wrench does fit on there, but this E10 socket that I have for at work, we have quite a few of these external Torx, and so that was much better for this bolt, which is now laying in the skid tray somewhere, the under tray, but oh well. And then the tensioner is now off, and it also uses an external Torx, an E14. So luckily I had that. And then this here is a 17mm wrench, so basically just put your box end wrench on there and just haul off on it as hard as you can to get the belt off. And the belt is going in the garbage because we have a new one. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to pull off the under tray and see about seeing the engine mount, because I think I have to remove the engine mount to lift the engine up a little bit so I can get the alternator out. So that's kind of, I'm going to start on that for a little bit tonight. This thing is awful to work on. Not only is it incredibly tight, but it's incredibly slobbery and dirty too. Just looks like the turbo's pumping some oil, and it's kind of everywhere. It's really hard to tell what all is leaking. We may do a turbo on this in the future, but one thing at a time. So last night I made myself a nice belt diagram. I don't know if you can see that. I made it with lime green Sharpie because that's what I had on hand. And so now I've come back in here, and today I have removed the skid plates, or not skid plates, but the underbelly trays. Got them out of the way. And if you've been watching for a while, you know normally I'm like, well, use this socket, that socket. This hardware is all, been replaced, so it's all over the place. After that, I removed the engine mount bolt from that side of the engine. It sits right behind the alternator, and you're going to need 18mm deep socket. Mine just reached this, like was just deep enough, because this bolt is miles too long for some reason, and you need kind of a deep socket on the other end too, because it's inside a the mount structure on the frame. Once I did that, I was able to lift it up a little bit, and that allowed me to get the lower two alternator bolts out. They're just a 13mm. I used a ratchet wrench, and this thing is so tight that if you don't lift the engine up first, you can undo those bolts, but you can't remove them. They're stuck there. And to the point where I removed the rear one first because it was closer to my hand, and then it's sitting there in the way. I can't get it out, and it reduced the swing on the front bolt to one click on a very, very fine Blue Point ratchet wrench. That's how much I had every time. And that got frustrating enough that I put the other bolt back in, undid the front bolt, got it out, and then undid the rear bolt. And then once I raised the engine up, I was able to actually remove those bolts, come around to the top side, remove the top two bolts, and we now have our alternator out. So that is our three main components out that I ordered from Rock Auto: the alternator, the tensioner, and the belt. So let's open up that box and see what kind of magnet they sent us. I lost my handy dandy pocket knife. I'm very sad. Probably left it on a bus somewhere. Anyway, I am going to take this old alternator in to get it tested. But not right now, it's late. So I'm gonna put this one in kind of regardless, because it's here. Boys. Oh, there it is. Oh, nice. A Bonneville. If you know me, you know I love big old full-size Pontiacs. That's gonna go over there on the beer fridge. Here's our belt. KO70801 Gates. Our tensioner came open out of the box. Rip. No, now. Does it look the same? It looks much the same. Much the same. Where's our old one? Yep. That'll do. That'll do nicely. That's Euro parts 642-200-1370. That's the part number on that one. I guess Euro because it's a Mercedes-Benz diesel, perhaps. Oh. And our alternator. It's a reman. With the cost of some of these things, it's locally, some places wanted up to $800 for this thing. Oh, there's a warning on it. Alto. Tenemos técnicos capacitados de fábrica y certificados por ASC que esperan para ayudarle. Before you return this part to the store, please call. We have factory trained certified technicians who are waiting to help. They can come put this thing in. Note. Your vehicle is designed to operate using 2 charging modes. Okay, that's good to know. But, well, it looks just like the old one, but a lot shinier. And this has, much like the Patriot, a one-way clutch. So when I spin it, and then I stop it, the guts keep moving. So that's a thing. Hopefully it's better than the one in the Patriot. All right, come and join me on a fantastic voyage. Underneath here, I'll show you where my office has been. That's why crazy hair, there isn't even room to wear a hat under there. Well, we start off on a creeper that doesn't really roll on the floor here. And okay, let me get a light here so I can show you some of the finer points here. So, let's see, where are we? So right there, that's the end of the engine mount bolt. You'll need an 18mm deep socket. Now my 3/8 deep socket was barely deep enough, but my 1/2 deep socket, once it's on the ratchet, didn't fit behind the alternator, which is there. There's the alternator in its home, and you can see the 2 bolts there. I've lowered the engine down now and tightened up the engine mount bolt, so it's coming back together, but it is a wet mess back here of oil, possibly from the turbo and its miscellaneous gubbins. So yeah, one leak at a time. I think we'll try and get it sorted out. Well, now that the alternator's back in and the engine mount is done up, It's after midnight and I may have a fairly early morning on my hands, so I think I'm gonna wrap up for now, and hopefully tomorrow or the next day I can get this thing buttoned back up and get all these many parts back on there and get it back to my buddy. He needs it so he can, you know, do his employment thing. He's in a bit of a tough spot right now, so it's nice that I can help him out a little bit and get this thing together, but it is not fun to work on. Well, after all that, all the intercooler piping is in, all the air intake piping is in, the air filter is in, the battery is in, although I haven't done up the actual like hold down. Obviously the engine cover, the grill, and the skid plate still need to go on, but before I do any of that, it's the moment of truth. It's time to see if that battery light is on when we fire it up. Fingers crossed. Oh, listen to that purr. Ha ha! The light isn't on. $14.5. Whew. Nice. That's exciting. Good deal. I'm gonna finish buttoning it up. Well, this, without a doubt, was the most challenging alternator replacement I've ever undertaken. If you've ever come across one that you think might be as hard or even harder, drop me a comment. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. We just hit 3,000 subscribers this week, which is absolutely unbelievable. I can't thank you guys enough. I'm humbled. I gotta get this thing pulled outside, get the Tacoma all cleared off of snow, and get it back in here so I can complete the back end lift on that. All right, thanks for watching. Cheers.